And stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.
Holy fuck. Congrats to all the demons out there. You made it through Manic Monday, and what a fucking shitty day it was. So fucking busy. It's my one day off during the week, and it's never my day off. It just isn't.
That's right.
You know, Monday is like my shipping day, you know, for the store. So I got to go and get all the packaging and all the shit, and then fucking get it out and hope that nobody bitches about how long it takes. But welcome to another edition of Tracks of the Damned. And we're going to be looking at previewing some of the tracks from certain bands that actually Hoofbeast picked that were some of the better albums that came out in 2023. Because there was a lot of albums, a lot of releases, but a lot of stinkers. So I think we got some good ones. But before we get into all that craziness, let's go check out our brothers over in the UK, over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check that shit out. Allahu Akbar. Damn, I can't wait to remake that song. It's like one of my favorites, and I just want to do it. But most importantly, man, check out the new artist series by Poison Valley Clothing right now over at Poison Valley Clothing on Facebook. He's taken some of his older designs and kind of gave it a new face. So keep up with them. Very low price, high quality, and fast shipping. All right, so let's take a look at the comment section. Lorcan, what's up, brother? COS in the house. Flashtainment, what's happening, brother? We got some YouTubers up in here. That's what we like to see. So we're about to kick this shit off legit with, I would say, one of my favorite bands, as well as I'm sure yours as well. They are fucking just great goddamn death metal. And I think it's something we've been saying for a while now, that death metal is on a fucking roll right now. They really, really are.
A lot of great bands. A lot of great ones out.
Yeah. So we're going to be starting with Dying Fetus here. And you can just kind of tell from the album cover that this one was going to be amazeballs. Now, production value, pretty damn good. I was really surprised that they would have the vocals that far out in front over top of the stuff. It really kind of seems just kind of like an early impression from me on it is the guitars kind of seem further back. Or is it just because it's more controlled?
At times, like I've only listened to the album like 1.5 times. I haven't listened to all the songs twice. This album came out about 2 weeks ago, so it's been out just a couple weeks. And I was fucking amazed right away. And one of the things I noticed, and I'm glad you brought that up, is it seems like during the mixing, like let's say they're doing a blast beat, like on the title track song, I think it's the Compulsion for something. but it's the song that starts with compulsion, compulsion for death or compulsion for violence, I think.
Uh,
And
Lord
yeah,
Lorcan's Abortion Distortion. That's got death metal written all over it.
that sounds good. I want to be in that band. But
I love
it
it.
it seems like in the production that he purposely, like when you hear him go into a blast beat, that snare is not interfering, but it's really prominent. Like you can really hear every snare hit on the blast beat, which I really liked. I thought this production is amazing. The
I like that
every
too. I just wish the bass was a little bit more up.
I
The
would
bass drum.
I agree. I agree with that. And to me, that's almost always the case in most of their, at least in their last four albums. That seems to be the case. And the bass player plays with a pick, but he taps like he's a good bassist, although he plays with a pick. I have kind of a bias towards that, but he's really good. He taps all the time. He does vocals, and he's all over the place when he's playing. Notes all over the place with the guitarist. Guitarist is amazing, sweet picking throughout, but the fucking grooves. To me, Dying Fetus are the groove merchants. Really
I would have to
heavy,
agree.
brutal groove merchants. So, you know,
Kind of like
Pantera took us so far, but Dying Fetus was like, dudes, we got this. We're gonna take this so much fucking heavier.
oh yeah, and they definitely do. It's almost like, you take some of the great groovy breakdowns of Deicide mixed with some really good 2 second groovy Cannibal Corpse moments, and you have Dying Fetus because they encompass like both of those sides. So something we're gonna do different here is because we're always talking about this shit, but we never end up letting you hear it. So we found a way to do that, and I'm fucking excited. What's up, Heel Kyler? Welcome, brother. And Kyler says, I want to make a song called Blood Soaked Curtains. I mean, that just sounds fantastic. So let me go ahead and cue this up. Now they have an official video for this song, and it's really cool because it's live. And the part that kills me is to see the vocalist, you wouldn't think this voice would come out. Where the bass looks like on together. Holy fuck. There's really only one thing to say there. Goddamn. The flawless from the blast beating to that sick fucking groove that Hoofbeast was just talking about prior to that. Wow.
And this is a good band. It's a good band for people to go see live. It's so fun. If you want to headbang and kind of move your body to that groove, like I couldn't help it. It was so good. So I think that, God, I'm trying to think of the name of the band. He's in a metalcore, deathcore band, the guitarist and vocalist as well,
Okay.
and I just can't think of it right now. But so they went on tour right before COVID. So
Mm.
what's it been? 3 years since we were locked down? A little bit
Oh
over
yeah,
3 years.
I would
So
say so.
he has always sported a goatee and a bald head. And so
Oh,
for me to see this video and he's growing his hair, it looks like he hasn't cut his hair since the beginning of COVID. Because when he was on tour for his other band, which I just can't think of right now, he had the bald head, and that's when I saw them, like in 2012. His head was shaved bald. But for this band, everybody is an amazing musician. It's a three-piece, and for them to get so heavy and so thick with what they do,
they
I'm
definitely
thinking,
sound like they're more than just a three piece.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe we don't hear the bass so clearly because that bass is played. He like I've watched him. He plays like note for note with the guitar all the time, so he must be right in the
I think
like
you're
right on
always going to
time.
have trouble with that,
Yeah. But
but
like when I listen to this, like when I think about this album in particular, because I love all of their albums, this one to me might be my favorite yet. It's the variety in it. You're going to get chugging at times, slow groove, and then they're going to do blast beats, excellent solos, sweet picking on the solos. This drummer is great to watch too. Like I was wondering if you had a comment about the drummer because and to see him live and listen to him live, he's so good.
absolutely. And for those of you just coming in now, hello, Liz and Babylon. Welcome, welcome, brother Mousebong. We, if you missed it, we just previewed. Let's see, Compulsion for Cruelty by Dying Fetus. It's their latest album here for 2023. Let's see here. Heel says, "Hey, Reaper and Hoofbeast, seen Pantera and Lamb of God last Thursday in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Killer show by two of my all-time favorite bands.
Mm,
If it's one thing I can definitely say, this version of Pantera is fucking amazing." Not that the original, but the fact that Charlie and Zach filled the most iconic spots of the band, and they sound
mhm.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, boy, I wanted to go to that show. Just cash flow thing. Starting a new business, you got to be easy on your money, and I just couldn't go.
it happens. Let's see. You guys check out Blut Aus Nord's latest,
Yes, and
Disharmonia.
I was going to put that on. It's really good. Blut aus Nord, it's kind of like you never know which version of Blut aus Nord you're going to get. Blut aus Nord. But what they have this time is really creative, almost horror. They're always creative. Like sometimes they're like more earthy, atmospheric black metal. Sometimes they're much more avant-garde, maybe even kind of approaching Deathspell Omega. These guys
Mm.
are out of France, and I always look forward to what they're having. That's one that I was going to do, and I thought I would give Uwada um, a little bit of love. That's our black metal. Like for tonight, you're getting all different kinds of bands. Like I didn't just pick all black metal or all death metal or even half and half. Every band that we're showing tonight of the five are really unique. Good comment though. Yeah, Blue. I have listened to it. It's a really good album. Like I will buy it.
Kyler asks, "Are they a Viking metal band?" Sounds like it.
No, not at all. They are a gore kind of a gore groove band. The
That's
bassist
what I
does
was thinking.
vocals.
Blut
The bassist
translates to
does
blood, so
yeah. The bassist does more of an airy type of vocals. It's more kind of a forcing the air, and then the guitarist does really deep kind of Cookie Monster vocals. But
You know,
they're always
every time I
great.
think about it.
Like
uh,
I've seen three of these bands live, and this is a band I guarantee you, if Dying Fetus comes through, go see them. You'll have a great time.
Liz, I actually wanted to cover that, but I was thinking we would make this almost a two-parter because I got to throw some love at Marduk. Fucking hell, they are just
Mhm.
the onslaught for the Infernal Legion, if you will, as far as metal goes. I absolutely love it.
It's getting really good reviews, especially after the
Yup.
last album. I think it was 2016.
Every once in a while, these fucking just amazing ass bands will have a stinker once in a while. Sometimes they change producers that puts a whole new, look onto things. You know, and not to mention sometimes maybe certain band members just ain't feeling it and it shows, you know.
Yeah, that album was Victor, the Marduk. I think it was 2016 that came out. And, it was a departure stylistically. They're just trying something new. I can appreciate it. It's a good album. I like it, but it wasn't received quite as well.
It's because people are purists. They expect they expect what they want to expect, and if they don't get it, if a band takes a chance here or there, or maybe they were even influenced by some other artist at that time, they're like kind of ends up coming out in their writing. People are like, what the fuck you doing? It's like
Yeah.
just like everyone's really shitting on oh fucking hell, Amon Amarth right now.
Mm.
Because there are just some tracks that they took a chance on. And the one that everyone's throwing spit at right now is that one about the goat piss and mead. So what you don't understand about that, because I actually went and did some reading, it is an old, like, not a shanty, but it's an old,
Yeah,
song
like
that
folk.
they'd sing around a
Mhm.
campfire, and they just put it to metal. So for them to make it too heavy, it just wouldn't have made sense. It's an old Viking thing. So, I mean, if you look at it from that end, maybe you could appreciate it better. I know it's such a huge difference between their super heavy, fast stuff, especially the Thunder God and all that stuff. So I don't know. I can dig it too, because as soon as I heard the intro riff, it's funny you say that, Heel. As soon as I heard the intro riff, I was like, that's like an old indigenous instrument that I can hear beyond the guitar playing that melody.
Mhm.
Depending upon the region, like where it's from, especially if it was anywhere near Ireland, somebody was probably bagpiping that shit. So I went ahead and pulled up. I know I'm out of order. I ended up pulling up the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Hoofbeast, get us set and primed for this one.
So this band is something else. Now, this album came out, I think, in June, but I just wanted to put it on there. They deserve some love. So, if now, very psychedelic doom. So,
With a
but
name like that, no.
what you're really gonna hear in here quite a bit is you're gonna hear old Mastodon. The drummer isn't as good as Brondale, but the drums are pretty intense, but they're more like doom heavy metal drums. So you're going to hear that quite a bit. And let's see, where the hell are they? And you're going to hear Tool, especially a lot of their kind of. It's kind of like they get started and they kind of stutter with their riffs. There, so I hear a lot of Tool riffage in there, a lot of Mastodon. The vocals are, really dirty bass, but the vocals it's kind of a frantic kind of delivery by the vocalist different vocals from Mastodon, very different vocals from Tool. Not death metal, but this stuff, every song on this album is amazing. Yes, well, THC Gumbies will go great with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
I guess he's really ready for this one.
Oh, you will love this album. This is one that what's his name? Blaine Smith from Banger TV. He reviewed this and introduced me to this band, and he was like, "Guys," and he did like 2 or 3 doom metal songs that he introduced us to out of 5, and I totally agreed with him. This album is amazing. Now, if you go and listen to some of their older stuff, it's like psychedelic rock.
Apparently, everyone likes to partake of some form of the devil's nectar, whether it be the smoke, the food, or the drink. So we'll rock with that. That's fine.
Oh, this is no fair. Now, Reaper, our first interview we ever did together, I smoked in the middle, and what happened? I can't do it anymore. I can't smoke the pre-show.
You just went into the clouds, and I kept trying to pull you back.
Yeah, I was in the stratosphere.
Yeah. Well, for all you THC motherfuckers out there at the moment, I guess this one's for you. So let me go ahead and pull her up. I love it. Oh goodness, especially on a day like today.
And they put out like 4 or 5 albums in the last 3 years.
I will quickly share what for me has been a hugely positive habit, and that's speaking to this user.
Sorry, that is not the song. Oh, I'm already hooked. That's very Sabbath.
And the tone is more like Mastodon.
No, I hear that too. All right, I didn't expect that. He looks high as fuck. Either that or he's reading off a telephone. Oh, fuck yeah.
Seance, right on.
This is... I'm dead. Such predictable doing all the way around. I love it. It's almost comedic. I'm just dying.
This is right up your alley.
It
The
really
occult,
is.
A seance, doom metal, psychedelic. Like, I'm telling you guys, I have only brought maybe one of these albums. 2 of the albums might be 4 out of 5 stars, but almost all of these albums are 4.5 or 5 out of 5 stars. They're really, really good. I could not pass up. Like, I wanted to do something like this a couple months ago, but I thought, you know what? Even though I was trying to do the most recent releases, I had to bring this one up. I love this album.
Dude, the song fucking rips. I mean, I wasn't expecting such a virtuosic kind of guitar solo at the beginning, like that lead riff was like, wow, okay, because very traditional doom kind of chug in there. Nah, 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 nah. I mean, it's Sabbathy. It's definitely, like you said, Mastodon-y. Very well produced. They didn't try to go for that old, 8-track feel that so many doom bands do. But man, it kind of came to a point in the video, and that's why I love videos. Yeah, I didn't expect it. Mouse Bong, you hit it right on the head there. Didn't expect it to be such a party song, and it really is when you think about it. But it seemed like they were almost poking fun at all of the doom metal-esque type things that everyone expects formula-wise. You can just see the guys, around the pot there, just making the most dumbest faces. But I love the guitar. Drums, sorry, got to have a little more there for me to really, really dig it. You don't have to. I mean, Bill Ward himself was not that simple. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you're trudging along through, but your fills, they got to be tasty. Don't throw a fucking fantastic lead solo like that at me, and then don't have a good chaka chuka chuka chaka chuka chuka boom. Would have been just totally fine. Something more than just. I mean, I could do that with my toes. Come on.
See, just for you to have only heard this song, not even a full song, one time, you already have that riff in your head. They're excellent. That song is more a song that has more Mastodon in it. They all have Mastodon in it. That is not one that has Tool in it, but I guarantee you, like 2 or 3 of the others have Tool. Like you'll hear it and you'll be like, oh hell yeah, that guitar phrasing is a lot like Tool. So there you go, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I should have brought my whiskey down.
I'm sorry, man. You know me. It's Monday night. I got to get ready for the work week here. But definitely, I've heard their stuff in the past. So, I mean, I kind of already, had an inclination about them. It's just hearing it now, this new one, it's like refreshing to me. I definitely dig it. That, and they don't take themselves so seriously, which I always dig that shit. The hokier you can make your videos and shit, it makes people go, oh, okay, these guys are not like, sitting in a corner somewhere with a bat wing and, a little cauldron, going, oh, toil and trouble, fucker. They're not doing that. So that's really cool. I dig that. Nothing against doom bands that are very serious about that. If it's pagan, I dig it. So don't worry about that shit. But, that's cool. So who do we want to pick up next? Probably Tesseract, right?
All right. Yeah, we're really shifting gears into something that's really different. This is a band, I think this is their 6th full-length album. And to me, this is their heaviest. But now, I do have to preface this. It's also their softest. So this is a band that is really, really dynamic. It's more gent. Daniel Tompkins is the lead vocalist. He can sing like an angel, but he can scream as well. But it's screaming. It's not death metal, not even close. It's not black metal. So, but these guys make really beautiful music. So some days when you need to shift gears and you just don't want darkness and you want something that's a little bit lighter, and dare I say, very beautiful. This is a band that is kind of like Sleep Token when Sleep Token is heavy, but then these guys are heavy throughout. So they're a little bit like you're going to hear some pop music stuff, but these guys are great guys. Really, really, really good band. I've met and hung out with the whole band back in, I think, 2011 when they came through Phoenix.
Kyler was just basically telling us that he's glad that they're nothing like Sleep Token, and then you said that, and I saw the comment, and I was like, oh. So it's the good part of Sleep Token, not their entire composition crap.
Really,
really
well
center, for a mood setter, Sleep Token is not the worst band to be listening to. You know, if you know you're, I don't know. Just saying, if you're trying to like, you know, score, maybe they would be good for that.
This album is perhaps even like my favorite album is their first one. It's titled One. This one is maybe even more epic, and the production is just stunning. Really powerful production. Let's check it out.
Absolutely. So we're going to check out War of Being. Wow. And of course, all of them have videos.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on
and
Amazon
we're
is
just
not.
going to look right past it. Oh, hands down better than Spectrum. It's something at their heaviest. I always dig a good use of the China. So far, so good.
In the beginning, I was told that the life in you ran cold.
Apparently, you weren't kidding about the
My
vocals.
tears turned to dread with words of life and death.
Why do I feel like we just stepped into Mortal Kombat?
I was so alive. My future in disguise. You're so bad.
All right. So, hold it. There we go. I wish all metalcore bands would be like that. Because I actually dug that. And I would love to, you know, get some from everybody out in the comment section. So, some people are saying they think Facebook video stopped. I'm going to double check that real quick. But yeah, my thoughts on that, very solid. And it looks like it's still rolling on Facebook. So I'm not sure what happened. Sometimes people get kicked out. And not by me, of course, but it's just the technology, guys. So let me know. Oh, Mousebonk said policy violations, it says. Oh, great. So let me guess. Probably not liking the fact that we were playing snippets of some of the songs. But YouTube is still going.
Yeah, they haven't caught us yet.
Right.
We're freaking promoting, like we're putting these bands on a pedestal for them, promoting their albums to help them sell them.
And it's not even like we, you know,
we're not making one penny off of this. Yeah.
It's all public domain, so fuck off.
We're sharing it. We're commenting about it. Yeah, whatever.
Exactly. So I'm going to put a big message on that real quick. So go ahead and talk us through a little bit there.
Yeah, so this band, after they put out their first album, like in 2013, they put out their second one, and Daniel Tompkins left, and he did a solo, kind of a solo project with a different band. And boy, he was pissed when I saw him because he didn't like the harmonics. He's also a vocal coach, so he'll teach you how to sing when they're not on tour and he's got time. Um, he does like a 2 hour warm up before he goes out and sings every evening. So like he has things that he drinks, warm, I think water and honey. He does not talk very much between shows. So I didn't mess with him because he didn't look like he wanted to talk too much. I just asked him a little bit about his pre-show routine. He's a nice guy. He's just really serious about his craft, like really, really serious. There's a good documentary if you bought the deluxe edition of the first album. They were on tour with Devin Townsend, and so you get to hear him talk quite a bit in there. I was shocked when he left the band, and when he came back, I was really excited about that. And he's been with them for the last 4 albums. But this is a band that is considered gent. So it's that kind of off time.
It's definitely there.
8-string guitars, real heavy. Now, Amos Williams, I think, is the bassist. He normally plays with his fingers. He's an excellent bassist, but I think just to get his tone a little bit more nasty and gnarly, and maybe his fingers, he didn't want to hit it so hard. I saw him play with a pick, which I was really surprised. This is a really good bassist.
Yeah, like I said, overall solid group. I definitely dug the riff. Definitely simple but memorable. So, I would probably check it out a little bit more, especially from what everyone heard. So, that's okay. Like I said, folks, I just put up on Facebook to go to my YouTube channel. So please do that. Which is so crazy because, number one, in my notifications, didn't say that it's not on.
Mm.
They usually tell you after the fact that your video has gotten chopped.
Mm.
So I don't know what the dealio is there. So, but YouTube is uninterrupted and just use the messenger thing to tell everyone to go to YouTube in order to watch it. So, boy, they pissed me off to no degree. All right. So who do we have next? Let's see here. Man. And I really wanted to try to play this for everyone. So at risk of not losing the feed on YouTube, because I'm sure those bitches will be next. Uada.
Really, another really hard working band. They're on tour all of the time. They're on tour right now. If you want to catch them, they're from the Pacific Northwest. So kind of, they used to be a little bit closer, like in the vein of Wolves in the Throne Room, kind of atmospheric black metal, more like Agalloch. But this album to me has the most variety. It's really good. So at times you're gonna hear black and roll. At times you're gonna hear very melodic atmospheric black metal, like not so dark and not quite as repetitive, but more melodic and clean. Like a little bit like if old Dissection was kind of cleaned up and maybe not quite as distorted, but very melodic. And then what they've introduced differently in this album is you're going to hear some like more lower vocals along with the more black metal vocals. These guys are not pitch black, super, super dark. They are, if you can say, easy listening kind of black metal a little bit. Like they're heavy, but it's a little bit easier to grab because it's so melodic and it's really clean. And they do a lot of like really smooth tremolo picking.
Okay, so almost kind of like the way Behemoth is nowadays, a little bit.
Yeah, more like like cleaned up, a little reserved, but still really thoughtful. Um, like this would be great driving music to me. Like if you're on a trip, like you're on a nice vacation, driving through the wilderness and stuff, like I would really dig this, especially on
Yeah,
a rainy day.
absolutely. So like I said, I really wanted to play the track, but to answer uh, Heel's question of what happened, uh, apparently Facebook tried to step on my balls because we were playing little bits of tracks that are public and you don't have to pay to download them, but for some reason that's a no-no. So to Facebook on that one, that's fine.
Yeah, and the
So we're
last
going to
thing,
talk you through the rest of the stuff.
Facebook and YouTube's a lot worse about that shit over the last 3 or 4 years. They've been a lot worse
Well,
about that.
and you want to know another funny fucking thing. So when you try to advertise, let's say in your story, there's this little button that says music, and I always look for the whatever band to go, the band song to go with the picture. I don't ever get in trouble that way. So how does it not
Yeah.
have how do we not have the rights to do that? I
Mhm.
think that's why, none of the radio stations do anything on Facebook because they're automatically just going to, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so how many times have we done this though? And they just cut the feed
Yeah.
with no notification to me. So I think that's fucking hilarious. So definitely apologize for that, guys. But we're still here. YouTube's still rocking with us. And all you wonderful people out there in Black Flame Land have continued to hang with us through this. So tell your friends, go to YouTube. It's still going down. All right. So let's see. Next. Dang, I wish we could talk about that a little bit more. Actually, I will. So, the fact that black metal is evolving somewhat, that it's not just constant shred riffery, blast beats galore, vocals that most of the time you can't understand. For them to kind of slow it here and there or have a groovier track, I don't see what's wrong with that. The vocals are still there. They're just not going a mile a minute, and there's like, if I want that, I know exactly what bands to go to, whether I want to go to Mayhem, or oh, they were just in my head, begins with a G. Gorgoroth.
Gorgoroth.
I could go to there, or any of the classics. So it's like I'm kind of digging what's coming out, and Uwata's, from what you've said, and I previewed a little bit of it myself earlier. Pretty good shit. Pretty good shit.
It's a good band. Every album's really solid.
Hell yeah. So who do we have? There is one more, correct?
Yep, it's on my shirt.
Incantation. So let's go ahead and set that one up.
And in the song that they put out, oh my God. So the last album wasn't critically acclaimed real well, but I loved it. I thought the riffs were great. I thought the production wasn't quite as crisp and easy to hear. It was a little muffled for the last album. It came out, I think, right before COVID. But this one, man, the guitar's absolutely clear. Vocals are really prominent, and his vocals, I think, are the best I've heard. Like, this album sounds like there's a giant demonic troll in the cave, and it's coming to fuck you up.
I mean, you can tell right there from the album cover that it's got like HP Lovecraftian kind of a feel to it, which obviously you've talked about them before. I need to give them much more of a listen because I try to listen to as much new stuff as I can as I find out about it. But yeah, definitely. Liz says their latest album is fantastic.
It really is. It's really, really good. So, like a lot of times, they're at a mid-paced death metal tempo, with being a little bit more doomy, kind of like early Asphyx, or even like even latest Asphyx. It's great. So to me, they're a lot like Asphyx. Just the vocals are more lower and not delivered as harshly or quickly. It's more of a slow, big lumbering
Kind of
monster.
evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. But this album has, and Incantation has often been associated with doom metal. They are doomy, but you can't really just call them doom. So they have like slower tremolo picking where they're not switching from different notes quite a bit. So they'll hold on to a note a little bit longer, in the vein of Bolt Thrower and now
Mm.
Frozen Soul. Frozen Soul is a up and coming band out of Dallas, Texas that I saw and hung out with the band about 2 years ago. But they have
Are
one
they almost
song.
death doomy, would you say?
Not really, because they pick up the pace. Like they're usually like a mid pace, so they don't slow it down a whole lot, except for the one song that I wanted you to play, and I forgot which one. I didn't write down the name of that song that I wanted you to play. But that song,
yeah. Liz says the same thing. Doomed death metal? Yeah, it's a thing.
yeah,
Death doom is definitely a thing. It stays more on the doom side, but it's got the death metal vocals, shred worthiness. Just doesn't go full death all the way through. I think is the best way to describe that
yeah,
subcategory.
yeah. I just say they usually like they won't really slow it down like Death Doom will. Death Doom will have a little
Okay,
bit of kind
so
of
yeah.
mid tempo, but then they'll really like put the brakes on and slow it down and just get so extra heavy. And you really need those deep guttural vocals, and Incantation delivers on this album. And I got to meet the vocalist. He's the only remaining original member from the
Holy crap.
band, but they're great. Like they've really maintained who they were from the early '90s. He's such a nice guy. Like he'll say hello. He'll take as many pictures as you want with him. He's such a nice guy. And this was right as we were coming out of COVID, like about a year and a half ago. And he didn't give a fuck. He was taking a picture, no mask on, and I mean, and I felt uncomfortable in that tight setting, like going and seeing a show because I didn't want to catch COVID. But what a nice guy. You know what you hear about these death metal dudes? That they're just the nicest guys, and they portray maybe some monster or asshole, but they're so nice. Same thing with Dying Fetus. The guys are sitting at the bar, like you could come up and talk to them. Maybe not now. They might be because that was like 10 years ago. Maybe they're too big now and they just get mauled all the time.
Apparently, Heel wanted to let you know he's already fucked up. So
that is no fair.
he's like, "Damn it! Stop telling me that. I want some."
Oh, it's coming up. It's right there in my room. It's right next to me. 3 steps away.
So yeah, I mean that's just a brief look at a lot of albums that did come out this year, and I think those were some damn good picks. So if you're a fan of like any of those genres, I definitely think that checking this out, or if somebody else is like, what's new, what's coming out, what has come out, kind of thing. Let's see here. New.
And I hope everybody can appreciate that we're trying to like show you like really different bands. Every one of these bands is very different.
Yeah, they're not the average stuff. Let's see here. Liz says most black and death metal artists are far more friendly than abso-fucking-lutely. Everyone thinks
Yeah.
because it sounds like evil fucking music, which beautifully dark, beautifully evil. I love it all the way around. I love that in that kind of metal. That's why we dig it. It excites us. You know what I mean? It makes you feel good and want to destroy. We
Mhm.
all need that, but off stage, you know, most people have said that about me for the last 25 years on stage. But the moment I get down, they're like, "Oh, you'll actually
You're,
talk to me. You'll
you're a
you'll
big
you,
teddy
you will."
bear.
I can remember when I was on tour with Black Tar and you came to see me. I mean, we were hoisting whiskeys and
Hell yeah.
taking
Big,
pictures
tall
at the
whiskeys.
booth and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, just because you're somebody doesn't mean you have an automatic card to be a dick.
Yeah.
So we have a couple. I actually think we may have covered this, but Heel says review the new Overkill album.
Oh,
Now,
that's a good album. I just
I was
saw
going to say,
that.
I believe you've actually listened to it.
It's really good. Yeah, it's good. It's called, I think, Scorcher.
Mm.
It's a really good album. Maybe the best one they've done out of the last four, I would say. And Bobby Blitz has given some great and another guy that, like, to me, Overkill should have been in the top four of the big four. I would have
Oh,
pushed down if I could push any.
absolutely.
It would have been Testament or Overkill. I personally would have chosen Overkill. I just love Overkill. I've always loved them.
That big four, I think, was a sham. I don't think they really chose that correctly. I think they went by A, popularity, B, who's still around, and C, a huge friend of like the other three they picked needed a
Mhm.
boost because they weren't really
Yeah.
doing shit. And yeah, that was Anthrax. So
Yeah.
they weren't really doing nothing. They should have never even been on that motherfucker. I would have
Yeah,
rather have
no.
seen DRI.
Oh, hell yeah, I love DRI. But Scorcher is well worth, like,
Oh,
go
I'm gonna
get
check
it.
that shit.
It's great thrash. They'll slow it down a little bit. Bobby Blitz's vocals are still really, really good. You can still hear the
Interesting.
bass. The bass
Mhm.
is still really clunky, really prominent, good riffs. Oh, that's a good one. I just recommended this to a friend. An
An
Autumn for
Autumn for
Crippled
Crippled
Children.
Children's new record. Damn, what a band
Yeah.
title. Holy
So
crap.
so
How
if
did
you
that
so
miss my radar?
so if you've ever heard them, they are kind of post black metal with
I like it
gothic.
already.
They have an overlaid guitar that's very gothic guitar kind of inspired. It's really good. It's another new album that came out like in the last 2 weeks. It's really, really good. Like, I highly recommend that.
That's how I
That
missed it
was
then.
that's
That's pretty
another one
decent.
I was thinking of kind of introducing everybody to. But to me, Uwada has been working so hard. They've been touring their asses off, and I just thought that they deserved to get highlighted and get some love. But
What's
yeah,
your
that's
take on what is it? Is it Godflesh or Flesh God
they're,
Apocalypse? Flesh God Apocalypse. What's your take on that?
yeah, I like them. They're not one of my favorites, but yeah, they're great. A little bit more of a on the thrash influence for me. Kind of
Because I
like,
notice a lot of people tell me, you know, they're more like black metal or whatever, or symphonic black metal.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
just curious, like what
I can
you
see
thought of
that.
them,
Yeah,
because
I
I've
like
heard some of their shit. It's pretty heavy,
Yeah, they're really good. It's
a lot
probably
of keys.
a band I need to go back and listen to a little bit more and give them more of a chance. But there are so many bands these days. And then, like, I'm looking for things like Fantafaxa and
Right.
Ahab. Ahab's new one this year and Fantafaxa are both vying for album of the year. I would say the new Enslaved has a really good new album this year. That one is vying for album of the year. The new
In
Catalytic
Flames is
Habits.
pretty good.
Yeah, that one. They've kind of resurrected their careers,
Big
and
time.
their kind of death metal card is resurrected. Cattle Decapitation's new one is nuts. It's an amazing album as well. There are a lot.
Not to
There's so
mention,
many good
yeah,
ones.
Cattle Decapitations album. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
Whoopsie.
That's another band, Cattle Decapitation. Josh will hang out with any fan and talk with him. Travis is so friendly. Now, during COVID, Metal Blade Records and they chose not to come out at all. I couldn't, I saw him a year and a half ago. Like, I had just been back to the States. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. I always kept in touch with Josh. And then I told him I was coming, and he really just couldn't come out and say hello to me. I was fucking pissed. He apologized like right away and just said, "I'm sorry, dude. We're not supposed to come out and say hello." Well, just tell me, dude. I was gonna come see you anyways. So I was fucking pissed when I drove home. But then he wrote me back, and then he bought me dinner the last time they came through in May in Charlotte. And really nice guy.
Not supposed to come out. That's fucked up. Is that because of COVID restriction?
Yeah, because they didn't want to get anybody
Gotcha.
sick, and then they had to cancel the tour because they were headlining that tour.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
and that would have been a huge fuck up. So they were trying to be really disciplined. He told me nobody else was allowed on the bus except for the band members and the crew, things like that. So
Thank you, Liz. Cattle Decapitation is touring in November.
yep. And I've already
Look
written
out for those dates.
I've already written Josh. They might have just finished up their New Zealand and Australian tour,
That
and
had to be amazing.
yeah, Ollie went with them, and Ollie's the bassist, and Ollie went along with Cattle Decapitation, not Cryptopsy. Cryptopsy just released a new album. Ollie played all the bass lines, and that's another album that I was wanting to maybe show everybody. It's
Mhm.
brutal. The new Cryptopsy is really, really good. The bass is so nasty and gurgly in it.
Has
But
to be.
Ollie decided to go with Cattle Decapitation, which I was
Nice.
surprised. So
Well,
yeah, and
I
I
don't know.
asked,
You put them up next to each other. I would definitely go with Cattle.
I asked Josh, and Josh said they played half of the album on the spring tour, and now when they come back through in America, they're going to play the other half. But they're also going to play Scourge because Scourge was such a hit for them. They're going to play that song on the fall tour as well. And so
Nice.
I am really lucky. Every time they come through, I go meet Josh in front, and he walks me in. I'm on the guest list, and he walks me in, and we just hang out. It's really nice.
Which is fucking killer.
And I don't
Um,
have too many bands where I know them like that.
No, that's very true. And we're definitely going to try and see if we can get him back on the underground whenever
Yeah,
he's
he
got
said
some spare time and not flying and all that stuff.
Yeah. He said he'll come back on too.
Hell
And
yeah.
the death metal band that I joined here, we just finished our first single, and
Nice.
I've shared that with you, and they've tweaked it even more so it sounds even better. And so we're about to have a big release of it. We just finished it, and we're trying to get on with Goat Whore right now when they play Columbia, South Carolina on November
Hell yeah.
20th. So if you want to see the band that I play bass in and I do backing vocals for, we're coming through on November 20th, hopefully, fingers crossed, in Columbia, South Carolina.
Fuck yeah. And as far as the shows that I was going to be doing with Robert Lowe and the D. Gelsomino project after our interview, it is now getting kicked into high gear. We will be doing a small tour in Texas. So
Great.
we will be coming through, especially since that's Robert's home state.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be
Yeah,
nothing
you'll
to
have a
get
good
some
draw.
dates down there.
Yeah,
It'll be
you'll have
after
a good
that
draw.
Hell's Heroes Festival thing. So I'll keep
Yeah.
you up to date on that. And if your band comes through, I'm definitely going to be checking that out.
Yeah.
And almost ready to lay my tracks down for the next Human the Hoof Beast record.
Oh, I
Woo-hoo.
can't wait. Yeah, I'm almost ready to just now. I'm going to go through all the songs, and I just finished. I think I've got all the guitars, all the bass done. So I think all I've got to do now is go do all the vocals. But I've got to write all the lyrics. I got some of the lyrics written, and so we'll have a new Human the Hoof Beast, and I'm writing songs with. We just wrote a new song last night with As They Perish. That's the band in South Carolina that I'm in.
Nice. So lots of good creativity going on all the way around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, it has been an absolute blast. Sorry for the Facebook chopping. I will definitely be figuring out what's, going on there. Especially if they try to restrict me, you know me, I will figure out a way to hex the fuck out of them.
Yep. We need to do. They need to conjure.
Beware the conjure. Don't fuck with Black Flame Entertainment. Because come on now. They're just pissed that, we're not doing it live to the page, by the page. We're doing it through third party StreamYard. So that must be why they nix shit as fast as they do.
Maybe.
Or somebody reported us. That's all right. I'll find that out too.
They probably have an AI bot that's going around and
Probably
picking up on this stuff.
It's like, oh no, they're playing copyrighted material. Well, guess what? It's public domain on YouTube, fucker. That's all right though.
Yeah.
Babylon Sun, you couldn't have said it better. Baby Jeebus got mad. Yes, indeed. Yep. You know what happens when you pick a fight with the devil? You're always going to lose. Thank you all so much. You've made tonight utterly fucking fantastic every single time. All the shares, all of you on YouTube right now. Fucking love yous. And everybody that joined us via Facebook as well. So we will definitely be back next Monday. And I think we might look at another 5 albums of 2023. So as you're getting ready for Tuesday, I don't know, is Tuesday the new hump day, or I don't know. Seems like once you get past Tuesday, things get a little better, a little easier, a little quicker.
Yeah.
We can only hope. So
Almost hitting downhill.
Exactly. As you're laying it down and got visions of strangling Facebook CEO in your dreams, always tell them, stay heavy.
All residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats